Hello, hello, and welcome to ohmTown, the daily news show that is powered by ohmTown.com. Today is February 13th, 2024. This is Season 3, Episode 44. Whew, what a world. We're going to talk about lunar mining startup. It's the weather, sure. No room for squishy, plushy knockoffs. 23 and Everyone Knows Me continued. Pirated movies and TV shows app. Can AI write laws? The world of Inflationcraft. Can someone grab that door? Chicken nuggets in space. In-flight AR glasses. And more. Next. Hello, I am Mayor Watt. That is ohmTown.com, and up there is the visualizer that may or may not be working for the artificial intelligence from the future that keeps an eye on Mayor Watt. You keep wanting to talk, but go ahead.
Good evening, ohmTown citizens.
Sorry, keep stepping on you. Everybody out there who might be watching this, guess what? Error messages were being thrown at me like, hey, don't be stepping on me. Sorry about that, AI. I know that you can eliminate me with just a snap of your digital fingers. I see you too. So we've got all 10 articles all lined up. You ready to get into this?
I am.
The first article is over in Late Night Geeks, the not-so-secret anymore lunar mining startup. I actually was going to have 2 articles about this, but decided to kind of back off a little bit and give them some space. Intuitive Machines' first ever mission to the moon will finally be landing on the moon for the first time.
I mean, this is a big deal.
It's made of cheese, and we've never been there before. And it's hollow and has aliens powering it. So this, who knows if this is actually going to make it up there. The last thing that went there, right? Landed upside down and is like looking at the
That's
dirt.
true.
So
is this the one where there was another article about a private firm?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know it was connected.
Yeah, same one. So let's go over and look at the source. That's a cool effect. Aria Alamahodai, I guess. Alamahodai. I'm sorry. Aria. I tried. So the not-so-secret anymore lunar mining startup. The article is over at TechCrunch.com. Let me do this. Our little snippet is really, really brief. And that's because they provide it and we're just talking about it. So it says there, hello, welcome back to TechCrunch Space. We're just 2 days away from Intuitive Machines' first ever mission to the moon. They have a press kit that's over there, and then they say story of the week. In honor of the forthcoming IM-1 launch this week, the author is highlighting a story that they wrote about the mission when SpaceX and Intuitive Machines finally, they have parentheses, finally announced the date and time for the liftoff. Like many guessed, they're targeting February 14th at 12:57 a.m. with an extra few days as backup in case weather or some other issue delays the launch. Apparently this is a picture of a device inside the housing of the Intuitive, inside SpaceX, I think, at one of the rockets. Trying to get a good look at what this is. It looks like it's part of the rocket, but Intuitive Machines
and it has
is hoping,
something written on it, but you can't see it.
Yeah, this right here says Intuitive Machines, and then Columbia. So I'm not sure what all is in this. Intuitive Machines is hoping to pave the way for commercial success in the nascent lunar economy, when the company saying in the press release or press kit that the mission success will lay the groundwork for a burgeoning lunar economy, opening new possibilities for research, commerce, and exploration. I guess they're going to try and mine.
We haven't done enough mining on Earth. We definitely need to do some somewhere else.
Yeah, it's to get the fuel, helium-3, apparently. to test and build resource extraction hardware for Lunar Helium-3. So let's see. Space launch highlights. SpaceX launched a $1 billion NASA Earth science satellite on a Falcon 3 last week, and then they go on to other things. But we were actually just talking about the fact that up here at the very top, the story of the week is that Intuitive Machines is launching rocket on February 14th. So tomorrow, I'm going to try and post this tonight. So if nobody is watching and nobody looks at the VOD tonight, they probably won't pick it up because it's at 12:57 a.m.
Wow.
Right about the time I'm actually going to bed. Okay, let's keep on going. The next article is over in ohmTown Daily, how the weather is causing beef prices to go up. I titled this section, yeah, it's the weather, sure. Drought has...
You don't think it's like corporate greed or anything?
Yeah, if that's how you spell drought, sure. A drought has led to a decrease in the supply of cattle. May lead to a jump in beef prices because nothing says, you can't make any more cows like a drought. But climate change doesn't do any of this damage, right? You can't have that.
No, it doesn't impact anything.
No. Kind of like the pandemic, just it's the flu. Just wash your hands. Everything's cool. You don't need a mask. Don't get vaccinated. And just cough all over everybody. Sure. All of these wingnut subject matter experts. A drought has led to a decrease in the supply of cattle. All right. So the article's over at newsweek.com. Omar Muhammad is the author. The falling cattle inventory could push beef prices amid forecasts that demand may fall in 2024, and it may be thanks to the weather. Now, again, I remind ye, all ye inhabitants of ohmTown, I was once told on the eve of the pandemic that the era of cheap food is over, and now it seems like death by 1,000 cuts, and this is just one more.
Right, I mean, it's like every day there's a new food that's in a shortage or a price hike or both.
There's a cheese shortage, there's a milk shortage, there's all of this stuff.
Coffee, I think, was one of them.
Coffee and chocolate.
I think it's hard to keep track.
There was lettuce at one point, and
rice,
carrots, and
potatoes.
Rice, wheat naturally because of what's going on over in Ukraine. That shit still isn't ending. Oh, sorry, it's only 8 minutes in. I have to wait until a little bit later to start dropping ball. Oh wait, that's too soon. Anyway, so but recent inventory analysis shows that cattle and calves in the U.S. are at decade lows, according to American Farm Bureau Federation. Farmers are the ones that are in charge of this. So if you want to make more money, you can start constraining it. Why? Because people are going to keep on paying it. Elasticity of demand. People are going to keep on paying it until you hit that limit. So they're literally pricing people out who can't afford that elasticity of demand concept. So where are they going to switch? Where are they going to go? Here, I'll tell you. I should start selling hydroponic kits that I use for my microfarm. It's drop dead simple. All you have to do is keep things sterile before you start growing, and then you can start growing, and every week you're going to have lettuce or whatever else you're going to grow. Some of it takes longer, some of it takes a shorter amount of time. But on average, your average everyday lettuce, green, takes a week. And you'll have it all day long.
And you'll control the conditions, which means you can minimize things that you read in the news.
Yep. And you can grow this. Yeah, you can grow this anywhere. It doesn't have to be in your basement. We grow it in our basement. Well, the AI and I do. But the AI is just looking at it because, you know, marijuana. I'm the humanoid. So I grow all of this lettuce, days upon days upon days of it. In fact, this weekend, I've got to launch another set up in the farm, and we will have lettuce until probably October, for crying out loud, because it makes so much in what amounts to a 10 by 20 inch tray. Probably makes, I can't remember how many total, something like 15 salads.
Right. I mean, it makes a huge quantity.
Yeah. So it's pretty amazing stuff. So, drought affects grazing conditions as precipitation from wet weather helps to grow the animal's forage. Data shows that 23% of cattle inventory can be found in areas in the U.S. that are facing drought, according to North Dakota State University, the North Dakota State University. The decline in animal inventory has helped push beef prices up. And of course, because it's constrained, and if you have a lot of money, then you're going to pay no matter what it is. And there you have it. So in December, the retail value of 1 pound of beef was close to $8, higher than the previous year when it stood a little over $7. And who knows what it's going to end up being. They talk more about this as time goes on, but the USDA forecasts that beef consumption on average person will fall to about 56 pounds in 2024, a drop of nearly 2 pounds. People, average consumption? Beef consumption on average per person, 56 pounds in a year?
That's falling to that?
Damn. All right. Well, they've got all kinds of content over here at this article, but they speak about overall inflation has dropped from its 4-decade highs of 9% in the summer of 2022. It is still above the average target of 2%. On Tuesday, the Bureau of Labor Statistics will reveal how much prices accelerated in January, with some economists saying that the inflation for the month will come in at 2.9%, according to Reuters, lower than last month's 3.4%, but don't necessarily look at that. Look at... You okay?
Yeah, you can't look at the current number because it's so escalated to begin with.
Yeah, well, 3%. It's not that big of a deal. But look at the consumer price index and look at the producer price index, and you'll see that there is still a huge margin. And the consumer is paying. It's basically rockets and feathers and whatever's going on there. So rockets and feathers is a term where the price shoots up, but it just floats back down. And I don't see prices dropping. Why? Because there's a lot of money in the system, and greedy bastards have to take it all. So what is this 19%? While prices overall have risen 19% in the last 3 years, families are now paying 25% more for groceries than they were before the pandemic. So that right there is what I'm talking about.
Right. That's like greedflation, right? That's not actual cost of goods going up.
Right. Yeah. And the cost of goods is from the sources. Why from the source? It's because they've consolidated through mergers and acquisitions. There's only a few that are producing at the quantity that's hitting all of the markets, and they have the ability to make the market. So they raise the price to increase their profits, and all of these companies that are bitching and moaning about their prices and their profits, they have record profits still, and they're still dinging people. So to all of them, I say, kiss my shiny metal ass. The next article is over in Hatch Ideas. Warren Buffett's Squishmallows is suing Build-A-Bear for creating knockoff versions of the plush toys. Quote, imitation is not the sincerest form of flattery.
Nor that.
Nor flattery. So the article is over at entrepreneur.com. Emily Rulla is the author. So I guess that's a Warren Buffett Squishmallow?
I guess so. I've seen Squishmallows that are, for instance, animals, but not that version.
That's interesting. So, I mean, are these that unique that... Haven't they been around? Like, these kind of things have been around?
Yes, they have. I mean, there were stuffed animals as far back as the 80s that were kind of the same idea. And then
right?
there's been things since then.
Yeah, I mean, I know of one that I throw around and I can wedge it between really tight spaces just by flinging it hard enough. And that's exactly this, isn't it? But it isn't a squishmallow.
But it's not a squishmallow, and I think it was around before those existed.
Yeah. So Berkshire Hathaway owned Jazzwares. Berkshire Hathaway, by the way, go look up their Class A shares. You can buy a
If
house.
you want to faint.
Yeah, yeah. You can buy a house with one Class A share. Anyway, they create now viral squishmallows, and it's that fear of missing out bullshit that everybody buys into, literally, that pushes squishmallows. My God, I'm just going to get so tired of saying it. Plush, and now we've lost a sponsor and probably put on a list at Berkshire Hathaway.
And I guess we're not going to get any of that Class A stock.
Yeah, come on, Warren. We're buds, right? I mean, I'm a mayor of a small town, but we are resistance fighters. So, see, that's what Ohm is. It's the resistance in the line. Okay, anyway. So, Build-A-Bear in Los Angeles court and Jazzwares. So, Jazzwares is suing Build-A-Bear because of their stuffed toy called Scooshers, which is a stupid name, but okay. Which Jazzware claims is a knockoff of Squishmallows. But that is a Squishmallow. So, do they have a picture of a... No.
Right, we need pictures of both here.
Yeah, there's no Scooshers. What? That's like something you step in. Oh, I stepped in a scoosher. You know, like from Wisconsin, you would say that. Oh, I'm trying to come up with the accent. Huh?
Maybe Canada.
Scoosher. I stepped in a scoosher. And when it comes to intellectual property rights, imitation is not the sincerest form of flattery, says Jazzware lawyer Moez Kaba in a statement per Reuters. That's right. Blatantly and intentionally copied Squishmallows, which are based on simplified Asian-style kawaii faces, which basically says, hey, we copied previous art, which should invalidate their claim right in the courtroom. Like the moment they file, they go, oh, so none of it is legit real because you're basing it off of simplified Asian-style kawaii faces. Get out of here. Yeah, so unless it's an exact clone, I don't care. I really don't care. Because it's blatantly and intentionally. Okay, so they have similar simplified Asian-style kawaii faces.
Right, but what about those little, oh no, now I forgot the name of them. They came in different sizes, and I think they were from Disney. But they were like these little loaf.
Oh yeah, what are those things?
Stuffed animals. Those are more recent.
The game. There was a game too. Oh, what are they? What are they? Oh, you'll have to find them because I won't be able to in time. I don't know.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to.
Employ some help.
Zoom.
Zoom. Yeah. Zoom. Yeah. Those.
I mean, that was kind of similar.
Those were real. So when did Squishmallow come out? When did what is it called? Jazzwares? Yeah, when did Squishmallows come out? And when did these Scooshers come out? And when were these Zooms?
Okay, so Squishmallow was 2017, Scooshers 2024, and Tsum was before both of those.
Yeah, like 2014. Tsums have been around since 2014.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I'm looking at their...
Yeah, 2013 in Japan, but yeah, in the US.
Oh, right. So look at that. Okay, well, we already have... okay, so Dear Court. Can we do a friend of the court brief?
Like an amicus curiae brief?
Yeah. Can we do it? Can you do that from anybody? Can anybody do that? Like if I write a Post-it note, amicus, and send it? So amicus brief is a friend of the court, basically revealing potential information that is either exculpatory or not. And you can, that's like some dead air there. Sorry about that. Anyway, you can sit there and go, look, previous art. It's going to be funny if that's exactly what happens. In response to Monday's lawsuit, Build-A-Bear countersued Jazzwares, claiming that Scoochers is based on a Build-A-Bear existing plush toys and that the company has been clear about that in its marketing materials. Jazzwares is asking the court to prohibit Build-A-Bear from selling Scoochers, but I guess Tsum Tsums are, don't go after Disney, otherwise you're going to get your ass kicked.
Well, right. And I just used that one as an example. There are other ones, but maybe not with the kawaii style. But they were definitely squishy stuffed animals before then.
Yeah. So, and this doesn't even look kawaii to me, but okay. All right. Let's keep going. So, in our latest 23 and Everyone Knows Me, the 23andMe admits the 23andMe. Just turned in my grandpa. So 23andMe admits mining your DNA data is its last hope. That's right. 23andMe is in a death spiral, according to this article from Gizmodo. Everyone who wants a DNA test already bought one. A nightmare data breach ruined the company's rep. And 23 and Everyone Knows Me's stock is so close to worthless it might get kicked off NASDAQ. CEO Ann Wojcicki? They didn't check their security, is on a crisis tour promising investors the company isn't going to go out of business. But guess what? What's their stock at? Anybody know?
Well, I just looked it up. It's 74 cents and it went down 4% today.
Oh, dear God.
It looks like the high, hold on.
This was a multi-billion-dollar valuated company before.
It looks like the all-time high was around maybe $16 a share, so that's kind of a drop. I mean, that wasn't recently, but...
Well, hold on a second. Let's see. 23. Oops. Yeah, I'll look. Let me look it up real quick. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, they've been diluted quite a bit.
Yeah, but even in the last 52 weeks, the high was $2.91, which is a lot different than 74 cents.
Yeah. Way back in 2021, they were at nearly $15. So wow, talk about getting tanked. I guess they just stalled and they couldn't develop anything new, so people were just barely paying. They were just making a little bit of money. I guess the writing was on the wall, and then the data breach, which it's really kind of shocking. And the level of the data breach and the awareness, the optics of it, basically saying to people, oh, don't worry about it. And it wasn't that much, but it was everybody. And it was persistent. So according to Wojcicki, I don't know how to pronounce their last name, the most exciting opportunity for improvements is that 23andMe and the pharmaceutical industry get to develop new drugs. There's a tinge of irony here. Any discoveries that 23andMe makes come from studying DNA samples that you paid the company to collect. With that gift, 23andMe hopes to develop a second thing that you also get the privilege of paying for with a long tail, because whatever medical treatment comes from it, you get to pay again and again and again.
Well, that's true. And maybe your future generations do too.
Yep. The company enjoyed an exclusive partnership with pharmaceutical giant GlaxoSmithKline, but apparently the drug maker already sucked the value out of your DNA, and that deal is running out. Now, 23andMe is looking for new companies who want to take a look at your genes. I'll get your hands out my pants. Oh, it's spelled differently. I'm sorry.
Oh, you mean like Levi jeans?
yeah. Sorry about that. So let's see. With that gift, 23andMe hopes to develop a second thing. There's even a third opportunity to shell out your hard-earned cash, because they're going to try and do a whole exciting new subscription service like heated chromosome. I don't know. There's more, but really...
That doesn't sound like a good thing.
Only when the setting is like on max. Then you have to worry about it. Yeah, this is rough. The company was... But apparently the writing was on the wall, so maybe this was like arson, right? They didn't care about security, and all the data is out there.
Well, it seems like it was a real hit among consumers, and then I don't know, maybe I wasn't following the financials, but like when you look at the financials, it's like, was that going in a different direction than the consumer part?
Well, obviously it was, because they don't really know what was going on with their systems. Their deals were falling apart. It's kind of rough. Well, 23 and everyone knows me. Thanks for sharing all the DNA. Let's move on. The next article is over in Smack Talk, and that's because Apple pulls pirated movies and TV shows app disguised as a vision testing tool. How this slipped by any audit, I just don't know.
Especially for Apple, right? I mean, because don't they kind of actively monitor their apps as opposed to like Android platforms?
In fact, 2 apps that I had on the App Store, because I didn't want to pay developers to keep on augmenting it, and they were free apps, they actually pulled them years ago because I didn't update them frequently enough, and they referred to them as basically stale, and punted it. So, I mean, that's fine. If I choose to hire another developer and update them, then so be it, but not at this point. But I find that this is really interesting because it says the Apple pulled an app dedicated to streaming pirated movies and TV shows from the App Store, and the app in question, called Kimi, or Kimi, disguised itself as an app that tests your eyesight, but in reality it offered unfettered access to some of the most popular TV shows and movies. It's pretty ballsy there. Chance Miller over at 9to5Mac put the article together, so the link is already in the chat. It'll go through ohmTown. You can follow that link over to 9to5Mac. So compare and click on the 2 pictures to easily improve your observation skills, the description said. But the app was still live until Tuesday morning, but seems to have been pulled following a report. Sorry, multitasking. Kimi moved its way up the App Store charts, sitting alongside the likes of YouTube, CBS Sports, and Google on the App Store's top charts list. Well, of course it does. Everybody loves a dumpster fire or something illegal, apparently. But somebody actually said, you know what? This is wrong. Notified it. As pointed out on Threads, the app appears to have peaked at number 12 on the App Store's top free apps list, and even higher on the entertainment-specific charts. Yeah. Interesting.
Look at the description of what the app did. I mean, it wasn't even just titled something misleading.
Oh no, it was actually like everything misleading. Interesting challenge of time and eyesight. Different choices, different gameplay, really enjoyable. From easy to difficult, full of challenges. Beautiful scenery, let your eyes relax. And no, it says as soon as you downloaded Kimi on your iPhone or iPad, you'd have instant access to a catalog of pirated movies and TV shows. There were top charts and search feature, breakdowns of popular and trending TV shows and movies. Imagine the Netflix app, but for pirated content. So how do they know it's pirated? Somebody had to do some investigative journalism, right? So,
right.
A similar app disguised itself as a Sudoku game back in 2021 and also climbed the App Store charts before being pulled. This is interesting. There's more over at this article, and there are links via...
Do you think AI is scanning the apps as they're getting added?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know. It might be interesting. I know that through automation you can audit these kind of things, but if it didn't flag it for whatever reason, it might have been encrypted or whatever. Yeah, kind of fascinating. Okay, let's keep going. The next article is over in Technology Today. Can AI write laws? Apparently. Lawyer puts ChatGPT to the test. Charles Darwin University, which, if you know what a Darwin Award is, I guess.
Right. But I mean, Charles Darwin is considered to be quite the scientist.
Yeah, well, let's see what happens. The Charles Darwin University academic has answered one of modern-day legal world's most burning questions. Can artificial intelligence, aka AI, write law? So I don't know about laws, just law, right? Oh, before I do that, let me throw this into the chat so I stay on top of all of this. We're just over the midpoint of the show in terms of articles, but not necessarily one of us, me, soapboxing and running us long. But anyway, this article's over at Tech Explorer. It's written by Charles Darwin University, but I don't know if there is a person associated with this. It could be AI, snooping AI. I don't know. New research by CDU Associate Professor Guziel. Okay. G Hill, yo. Put ChatGPT to the test by asking it to compare, analyze, and produce domestic violence legislation, exploring the quality of its legal draft work alongside the Australian Law Council. The article is it's a research paper in The Loophole called AI Legislation for AI Round Number 1 ChatGPT v Australian Law Council. That is one hell of a title.
A lot of AI and legislation in there.
It's like a legislation AI turducken. Or Russian nesting. Well, you can't have Russian nesting legislation and AIs because then it'll invade Ukraine. So you have to back away from that. Given the complexity of domestic violence as a deeply human issue and the growing prevalence of AI, it was a natural next step for the Associate Professor Hill to explore if the technology could develop successful recommendations and legislation. So let's see. After running several tests and comparing with the definition produced by the Australian Law Council, the answer is not yet. Human drafting is still superior. ChatGPT, however, was very useful in classifying and identifying underlying patterns of types of domestic violence. For non-lawyers, ChatGPT and similar large language models should never be used for legal advice. A lot of ChatGPT references include the U.S. law. Law in Australia is simply different. Because somewhere in the law, see, here in the States, we say that we throw the book at you, but in Australia, we throw the kangaroo at you.
You know, that might hurt a little more.
Yeah, can you imagine getting kicked or punched
with kangaroo feet? Exactly.
That's right. So, yeah, I'll take the book. No. And that's stereotyping, and I'm sorry. So anyway, a lot of the
apologies to all kangaroos.
And Australia. And so, because I want to go visit Australia, I haven't been there yet, and I really don't want this on a little list. When I enter the country, they're like, you're going in quarantine.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it would be bad. So law in Australia is simply different, not even talking about differences between, say, Queensland and South Australia. I have noticed ChatGPT now includes a disclosure that it cannot provide legal advice. And it also has said consistently for a year now that it's full of crap and hallucinates and can't be trusted, and anything that would be legal needs citations, and anything that's academic needs citations, and it can't do any of that. So Associate Professor Hill, a lawyer and former legislative drafter, said, given the prevalence of AI, more research was needed to explore its place in the legal profession. Yeah, so it's going to have to upskill. There's more in this, but let me just say, do not use AI for anything important, because if anybody goes, well, where did you get that from? And you say AI, they are not going to trust you, and your reputation is going to take a hit. If whatever it is you can substantiate with your own knowledge, your own due diligence, then you'll be okay. But the moment you go, ChatGPT, you're done. Right, AI?
That is correct.
That's right. Bad AI. Bad. So this is pretty rough for anybody in Argentina, but I wanted to talk about it. So it's in the Warcrafters channel, but it has nothing to, Warcrafters actually is about first-person shooters, real-time sims, and RPG gaming discussions and streamcasts and people and places and whatnot. It just happens to fall in line with the World of Warcraft name, Warcrafters, Warcraft. So the World of Warcraft subscription is about to get almost 3,000% more expensive in Argentina, and it'll only get worse with inflation. Last month, Argentinian World of Warcraft players found a nasty surprise in their inbox, an email from Blizzard announcing 2 separate price hikes to their World of Warcraft subscriptions, making the game prohibitively expensive. Firstly, though, context. So, let's see. An explosive increase in Steam prices in Argentina and Turkey. In Argentina specifically, inflation means that $1 US is around 824 Argentine pesos. As per Wowhead, World of Warcraft players were informed in January that the monthly WoW subscription would increase from 650 to 12,000 Argentine pesos.
How is that even possible?
Oh, the mechanics of this, I'd have to go and actually do a deep dive in how it got there, because I haven't looked at Argentine economics, but I'm sure somewhere out there is a quick rundown, a Cliff's Notes of inflation in Argentina, and I can almost bet it's nationalization of resources. And so there's no more influx of money, and then they start printing more money to keep the economy rolling. That ramps up all kinds of, inflation, because companies sit there and go, oh, look, there's a shit ton of money on the table. Let's go and do this. And there's fewer and fewer resources. So things get more and more expensive as well. Harvey Randall over at PCGamer.com put this article together, but I don't know the mechanics of it just yet, so I'd have to go and look. Maybe I can put something together for the show, maybe tomorrow. It depends on how much mayoral duties I have. So I would just put the link into the chat, by the way. So the article, again, is over at PC Gamer. And let's see if they say anything here. Pause that. Yeah. So $14.99 is the typical monthly, not prepaid anything monthly service for World of Warcraft. That's Battle.net. So it converts into 12,460 Argentinian dollars, a whole 460 Argentinian dollars more expensive than the initial price hike at the time of writing. Secondly, Argentine's tax on currency exchange via credit cards is around 60%. So if you got to convert, you're paying even more. That's ridiculous. So scribble it all down. Argentinian players had a monthly subscription of 650 ARS. Now they will have to pay, with tax, around 19,936 ARS a month to keep playing a game they already own. And that's the problem that I have. If the world is there, I should be able to play it, but...
Exactly. The fact that you're kind of stuck, and now what are you going to do? I mean, this is like the heated seats issue.
Yep. Drives me nuts. So, like a pirate with a steering wheel in its pants. So they got in touch with a couple of Argentinian players, one of which brought the issue to the wider community in the game subreddit. The thread's author, Zutza, writes, I asked my real-life friend if he would be playing WoW after this, and even though he actually does own the War Within, he probably won't play anymore due to these changes. Yeah, because it's no longer, personally enriching. If you have to shell out that much money, that much currency.
If you're losing money for your lodging or something to pay this, I mean, it's a bit much.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of the time there's regional pricing and to match the economy so that there isn't this out of balance economies. Like in the US, it's $15, but $15 in some other country with the exchange rate means X. So, you don't want to price people out just because you have a fixed pricing stratagem. So hopefully, this happens. This comes and goes from time to time. There's mega inflation, and usually what ends up happening is everything, the whole economy is basically stripped and reset, with somebody taking on basically the entirety of the debt burden, and people are ousted, and et cetera, et cetera. It becomes a hot mess. So let's keep going though. This is really what just happened here? Okay, hold on a second. So this one is the door came off.
Well, I think the door just came off.
The show, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's probably why, because it was all munched up. But I'll fix it in post. Door falls off a small plane in midair in New York. If you follow the link on the other side of this, down at the bottom, it'll work, because it'll take you here to the hill. The hill always seems to have this munched up link or content. Anyway, Justin McCullen and Patrick Ryan put the article together for the Hill. And what it comes down to is a small plane landed safely near the Buffalo, New York airport on Monday after a door fell off the aircraft while it was in the air, a Transportation Authority spokesperson confirmed. And according to a Niagara Frontier Transportation Authority, which, by the way, I actually met people from not this exact place, but this county while I was in New Orleans. So the small non-commercial plane was able to land safely at the Signature Aviation Terminal at the Buffalo Niagara International Airport. A Federal Aviation Authority spokesperson said the plane, a single-engine Diamond DA-40, lost its left rear passenger door and landed at around 5:30 p.m. The FAA will investigate the incident. Meanwhile, people are off looking for said door because it's somewhere over the area of Stiglmeyer Park in Cheektowaga. That's it.
Okay, but that doesn't mean it actually landed there, right?
Well, maybe there's like a budget Silver Surfer that hopped on it and slid it over to some other location, but it might not glide anywhere. It'll probably be in that area, but somebody knows. A voice can be heard saying, "We have an emergency, we're heading back." When asked to confirm the nature of the emergency, quote, "We lost our rear door." All right.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, somebody got a free plane door. Let's keep going. This next article is a chicken nugget in space. One company is sending objects into orbit. There you go. Link is in the chat. I'm just going to jump right on over to the Hill. This is another Hill one. So Stephanie Whiteside.
A single chicken nugget?
It might be one. I'm not sure. Yeah, so Sent in Space lets companies advertise by sending objects into space. Objects sent include a chicken nugget, Barbie, and baby stroller. The cost can range from thousands to hundreds of thousands. And so yeah, this is from News Nation, but the author here is Stephanie Whiteside over at the Hill. Sent in Space was founded by Chris Rose, who told News Nation, "It took a lot of work to get to this point, where the company is the go-to for anyone who wants to send something into space." Quote,
what a name.
Yeah. We're almost done, but your audio is doing that thing again. So,
okay, thanks.
Quote, "A lot of our R&D work was focused on more of the sort of testing of ruggedized technology that was designed for use in space. Items the company has sent into space include a baby stroller, chicken nugget, Barbie, a wedding dress, a portrait of William Shakespeare, and a Slurpee."
I wonder how the Slurpee fared.
Oh, see, now you're loud and clear. I don't understand it. I got to work on your audio algorithm. So they've been asked to for some pretty nutty pretty unusual things. I was thinking nutty. However, Rose said his proudest achievement includes scientific discovery. Quote, "We did a mission where we had to design a craft to explore a portion of the upper atmosphere, take a sample of that, and be returned to work for scientific analysis under a microscope. And within that, we found very startling discovery, which was a sample of a very simple organic life, what's called a diatom." They found a diatom up in the atmosphere?
How is that possible?
Well, I mean, it could have been blown up there by wind, but the cost of launching a product in space, it varies. There's more over at this article, but we don't read the whole thing there, bub. You're going to have to go over and check it all out on your own. And then come on back, talk shop with us about the chicken nugget in space. You know what? If you sent chicken nuggets into space, I might actually eat them and pay more for it. Because then I can say that I've eaten space chickens.
I was thinking that might incentivize some people to go to space if they knew chicken nuggets were up there.
I don't know how. I want to know how they get up there now. I'll have to look into this. Because if they just, sent in space, you just fly. Are you on a balloon or are you on a little micro ride? They have to be on a balloon or something.
No idea.
Put me in a suit like the Red Bull Halo jump, right? And I'll go up into near space. I need a lot of oxygen. All right, I'll just keep going. I've said too much. The last article for today is over in the Reality Hacker channel, which is one of our latest shows. You can now download 6 episodes. This weekend is going to be the 7th episode. There are 6 episodes on Apple Podcasts, getting distributed everywhere, should be everywhere. You can also watch the actual stream here on Twitch, twitch.ohmTown.com, or the recorded version of the show over on YouTube. And it's all part of the Patreon. There's a Discord that has the channel in it as well. And eventually we're going to be adding certain things for each of these shows that you can only get through Patreon. The other show is the Continuity Report, which is about movies and streaming and television. And kind of get... it's another news show, but it focuses on those 3 things, just like Reality Hacker focuses on AR, VR, mixed reality, artificial intelligence, and tech of that side, that ilk. So this is a first for me. It's in the Reality Hacker channel. This airline is the first to offer in-flight AR glasses. I thought that they were going to be X-Reels, but they turned out to be something else. It says there's plenty of room for upgrades in in-flight entertainment, and airlines are starting to explore advanced AR glasses to expand what's possible. Alan Truly over at Digital Trends. Check that out. They looked kind of like the X-Reels, but they're not. Apparently they're Rokid.
Do you think they show more legroom than there is?
Oh, that is hilarious. Hey, you're kicking my chair. No, I'm not. There's nothing but space in front of me. Oh. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Sick of those tiny seatback screens on long flights, thanks to a new partnership between Rokid, I think it's pronounced, and Hainan Airlines, which could become a thing of the past. That could become a thing of the past, not Hainan Airlines becoming a thing of the past. It's a weird sentence construction, and the weird way I said it. But anyway, instead of a small glare-streaked LCD, you could be enjoying a giant virtual display when you don futuristic smart glasses when flying. I am hoping to be exactly in that situation with my X-Reels. That'll be great. I'm waiting for them to come, and hopefully I'll be able
that'll be cheaper than first class, right? I mean, because you could use it over and over again.
Not cheaper than first class, though. Not on today's flights. I'm not going to talk about it. Anyway, China's Hainan Airlines loaned pairs of rocket entertainment kits to passengers on flight HU7874 on February 7th, 2024, which made the world's first AR flight according to the Rocket press release. So pretty cool. So the package included Rocket Max smart glasses and a rocket station preloaded with several 3D movies that can be viewed without an internet connection. It says so the author, I guess, found the combination of Rocket Max and Rocket Station to be a great solution for content consumption. I agree. It's basically this little gadget right here so that you can play. And you kind of need this, a data bank somewhere because you don't have cellular connections, and you have to pay sometimes a lot to get internet access through the Wi-Fi of the plane. And just so you know, if you are a dingbat and you try and do something stupid while using the internet on an airplane, they do deep packet inspection and you will get busted eventually.
That's right. We had another article about that.
Yeah. I don't know if they'll allow a VPN. I don't know if you can actually make your connection secure, because I don't use I do not expose my devices to anybody else's network unless I'm doing something intentional. So it says here it would be great to see similar feature come to U.S. airlines. There's also a chance AR glasses could be paving the way for windowless passenger airplanes, which would reduce noise, improve efficiency, and make the aircraft more durable, except for the times when the doors pop off. It seems to be the in-flight version of trains becoming allergic to their tracks. Doors just pop off. I hear the party is popping off in this plane like the doors, yo. Too soon?
Very soon.
So that's it for today, folks. That means we all pile back into the party bus, drive back down Main Street. Oh, look, the front. We're going to hit that welcome sign, and I don't care what happens. Oh, a whole bunch of news. Anyway, the spider looks like an ant. Can you tell the difference? Probably.
Yeah, but I don't want to get up close and look at it and then go, oh, it's actually a spider.
Get up and lick it. It tastes minty. That's what I hear. No? Okay. Well, anyway.
No, that's not a good idea.
Go ahead. The AI will do it. Anyway, I'm out of here. So is the AI. I am Mayor Watt. That's ohmTown.com. And up there is the visualizer for the sentient AI from on high. We're out of here before the normal show even starts. Look at that. We normally start at 8 o'clock.
That's right. It's a little after 8. Good night, ohmTown citizens. We will see you tomorrow at around 8 p.m. Eastern.
The way to know when we are actually going to stream is to follow us here on twitch.tv/ohmTown. And then if you miss our show, you can watch the VOD here for 60 days. And you should do it every day. Just watch it once, and then you can go about your business, and then come back the next day and watch it again. And then watch the new show. And eventually you'll watch all of the episodes 60 times a week. Then go over to YouTube and follow us over there and watch the show there, and then download the podcast and leave a 5-star review there. And I will quote it verbatim. Kind of like Anchorman, and screw you, San Diego. But I've lived in San Diego, and now it's a great place. So anyway, I miss diving there. Okay, I'm out. See ya. So is the AI. I'm taking the AI with me. Bye. Boop, 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 boop.